Hi there, my name is Devon Colwell. I am the writer of The Regulars, which I am very excited to find out is the second place winner in this year's Scriptapalooza Screenwriting Competition. I don't remember exactly where I came up with the idea for the script, but I remember I was kind of stuck with this image. It was almost like an oil painting of a man sitting at a seedy bar in a tweed jacket, chatting up this woman in a sequin dress, and across the bar there was this sort of sinister man sitting at a table, watching them. His face was, covered in shadow. His head was encircled by a ring of smoke, and he was playing a game of solitaire. It's kind of a bizarre image, but it was intriguing enough for me, and it stuck with me long enough that I kind of wanted to figure out what it meant and who these people were and what kind of story I could derive out of it. And I was also inspired by a music video for a song called Sic Transit Gloria by the band Brand New. I kind of used that as like a tonal atmospheric sort of guide as I kind of took this image and stretched it out and really dug in deep to figure out just what everything meant and what kind of story I could tell out of it. And the result was the script that I entered into the competition this year. I'd say from the initial time I had the idea, it took me maybe 3 months of kind of brainstorming and outlining to get to a point where I felt like I knew the story pretty well, what it was and where it was going. Once I sat down to start scripting, it actually went really quick. I was writing pretty much every day, and it took me about 3 weeks to come up with the first draft. From there, I kind of put it away for a couple months, let it marinate, came at it with a fresh perspective and some new ideas. So a couple months after that, I sat down and I wrote a second draft and subsequently a third draft. I think all said and done, it was probably about a 9-month process from conception to completion to get to a point where I had a script that I really enjoyed and I really thought was ready to send out into the world. And so my method of doing that was to use script writing competitions, and Scriptapalooza is actually the first one I found. It's the one I entered into, and it definitely paid off because I ended up doing really well. It was way more than I honestly expected. Um, advice for writers. I think the obvious bit of advice is just keep writing every day. Stick with it and push through it. But I also think that something that's important that I learned is that you have to take what you've written and take all the self-doubts you have about it and just give it a shot. You never know who's going to connect with it and who's going to read it and really say, like, this is something special, even if you have your own doubts about it. And you can have 10 people tell you that it's terrible, but all it takes is that one person to say that this is exactly the kind of thing they've been looking for. So with that in mind, just keep writing, and hopefully we'll see more of each other soon. Thanks, guys.